Windows Store, one word review.
Circuitous.
First off, Windows Store, yeah, it's really circuitous. I tried to put in a code and it was like, sorry, you need to go to the Xbox Live thing. And I was like, what is that? I'm a PC gamer. I've never even been to Xbox Live. And then I had to go through. It's like there's several stores kind of duct taped together, but you can see the duct tape and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I felt like. But they've done something new here with the release of Gears of War 4. You buy the game once and the serial number will unlock the game across the entirety of your Windows account or your Xbox Live account. So it'll work on your Xbox and it'll work on your PC.
But you have to have like your Windows account and your Xbox
link
account.
them up.
They're all linked and merged together.
Yeah,
they
so
can't
now
be separate entities anymore.
It feels like a context shift, almost the way Windows 8 did when you press the start button. It popped up, and it's like there's two different things here that are laid on top of each other, but they're trying to be the same thing. So this is the first generation in that. But I guess the real thing we're going to look at here is the future and what Microsoft is trying to do here. So some people are worried that Microsoft is trying to sabotage the PC community because they're, they're scared. Other people are like, yay, Microsoft cares about PC gamers again. And I think I'm somewhere in the middle, but we're going to sort of dissect this. So where should we go first with all this stuff here on the list there?
I mean, so let's talk about like kind of the skepticism that's around it. Because from a purely sales point of view, Microsoft is way behind Sony in terms of sales. Like Sony is selling double worldwide as of like November 2015, which is when they put out their last report.
Yeah.
Like there are twice as many PS4s in homes worldwide than there are Xbox Ones.
So I think a lot of people look at that and they don't realize that that's the case globally because they look at it and they think, well, it's not doing so bad in the USA. But this is a global market, guys.
People are either kind of the camp of like, oh, this is cool that they're extending like, the olive branch out to other platforms and everything like that to make it work. But a lot of other people are like, well, they're in last place. They're going to do whatever they can to try to like pull themselves up out of the rut that they're in. Well,
they're also in a position where they own the Windows platform and they own the Xbox Live platform. So we have a lot of people out there who are looking at this and saying like, they own this platform and their Windows Store exists on this platform. The files that are there, it's a different type of file. They're not the standard exe files. It's a totally different thing. So they're worried that in the future, they're going to start to sabotage the functionality of both old games by making things, like locking them into this Windows Store and future iterations of Windows, or possibly that they're going to start doing things in their Windows updates that sabotages the functionality of platforms like Steam and GOG.
Yeah.
So that's a big tinfoil hat thing. We have was it Tim Sweeney from Epic Games who is very worried about what Microsoft is up to.
He says that they're worried that they're moving towards a closed PC ecosystem is the phrase that he used, I believe.
So you would lock it down just like an Xbox. So and I don't think a lot of people can like even fathom that. I mean, imagine like the PC becoming like your Xbox. You sit down and you turn it on and you boot up and this is your store. If you want to play something on this Windows-based machine, you use the Windows Store. And I think a lot of people are really worried about that. They're really worried about like the fact that Microsoft could just muscle everybody else out and be like, get off our platform. Mm-hmm. You don't like it? Go start your own platform. We made Windows.
The kind of the only thing really right now that's holding back like this cross-platformism or like the platform agnosticism is Sony's kind of like meh when it comes to doing this. Like they put out a response that was like, oh yeah, we're definitely interested in doing cross-platform things, but that was about it. That was in response to Microsoft kind of putting that open invitation to them back in like March or something like that.
See, the thing, Sony's in a different position, and they don't rely upon a lot of the libraries like DirectX and stuff like that Microsoft does. But the architecture underlying this stuff is very similar. It's not like back in the PS2 days and stuff where you had, cell processing, and it was just a totally different world, and developing for that required, totally different methods. So making a game cross-platform back then required an enormous investment. If someone's going to make a PS game and they want to make it also available on Xbox and PC, well, that's going to take a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
But now it's not going to take as much extra work.
There's actually a lot of companies that are really pushing for it too. There's like Psyonix, the guys that do Rocket League.
Right.
There was also mention from
they've already done a little bit of cross-platform stuff.
But they want to do everything cross-platform. Yeah. Also, CD Projekt wants to make their upcoming game Gwent. They want that to be a cross-platform kind of ordeal too, and even Blizzard for Overwatch had talked at one point about wanting to make that cross-platform. So it does bring up a couple other issues though,
right?
Because there's like, first off, there was the issue of like, what are we gonna do with reoccurring screen names? How am I gonna be Trilby Stud 6969 on all platforms? Or and the other thing was like the issue of controller versus a mouse player.
Yeah, there's no chance, guys. I'm sorry. Is there a mouse and keyboard accessory for PS4 and Xbox? I don't know because
I'm not sure.
I don't play them.
I haven't played them.
If there is,
ages.
you freaking get it because you're gonna need it and learn to use it because it's gonna be a little frustrating at first when you're like, this is weird with the mouse, and then like about a month later you're gonna be like, how did I not have this before? I'm just telling you that's how it's gonna be.
I mean they did testing before and they found that like even the best controller player was still getting housed by like a mediocre mouse and keyboard player.
Right.
So that's another issue that they're having come up because it's gonna be like, well, half the console players are gonna be like, this isn't fair because everyone with the mouse is better than me.
Like, just play fighting games and racing games.
Yeah,
there
right.
you go. Don't play FPS, and then you can win again.
You get all your Chivos back, bro.
So I guess this also opens up another question now. If cross-platform, becomes a thing, and then we have companies like CD Projekt, and they own GOG, which is the platform that is my favorite platform on PC. Yeah, it used to be good old games. They just go by GOG now. They told me when I was hanging out with them having a beer. They developed that platform to be DRM free. That's where they have all their games are there. But they also let their games go to Steam and wherever else. So their games are on a lot of different platforms. But if they're going to be doing this, Microsoft's going to try to lock down the PC maybe. But what if these guys are like, you know what? We're going to do the code ourselves to make it run on Xbox and PS4 and all this stuff, and we'll run the server, whatever. I can see some big companies doing things like that, but then we have to worry about, is Microsoft going to allow that? Because remember, it's still their box, it's their box, and it's their platform Windows. So are they going to allow companies to do this? Because I just cannot see the way Microsoft is going toward this closed walled garden thing. I can't see them allowing people like CD Projekt Red to come in and be like, yeah, we want to be closed platform, and we'll go through your Windows Store, your Xbox Live, whatever. Here's a copy of our game, and it'll be Xbox Live will be the cross-platform way. I can't see Microsoft saying, yeah, that's cool, but I can't see them saying, yeah, it's also cool that you sell it on all these other platforms. Microsoft likes exclusivity. They may do that, but I can't see them do it. I don't know.
They already mentioned that Microsoft, like, once this goes into full swing and stuff, is going to be pushing for exclusive games, which kind of seems almost like contradictory to what they're trying to do with cross-platform.
Well, it's that they want to lock down the garden. I think that the next step here, and this is going to be the big thing that I think we're going to see in the next few years, is that people are moving towards platform agnosticism, meaning you have your Windows store, and that'll work on all your Windows devices, your tablets, even your Windows phone. Some games will work on there, but it'll be your one account that you use wherever you sit down on any device, and all your stuff is available there because they're all just different types of PCs. And I think that's what they're trying to go for. That's what I foresee happening. Yeah. So imagine, in order to push this, imagine this. The original Xbox, imagine them releasing like pretty cool anthologies of all the original Xbox games that you can play on any of your Microsoft accounts. Like you can open up your Microsoft Surface and sit there and open it up, plug up your Xbox controller, and play, I don't know any games from the original Xbox. Halo.
Combat Evolved.
How you doing? So maybe sit there and play Halo on your Surface at the mall. Whatever you kids do. I don't know. People do
using Starbucks free Wi-Fi to play Halo.
People go to the mall anymore? They still have those?
I think they still have those. I haven't been to one forever. What with the internet and all.
Yeah, I know. I called and told them to tear them down, but they're still there. I don't know.
They don't listen to you.
No, they don't.
Ugh.
I don't. Well, they're obviously not going to run equally well because you have different hardware in all the different places. But certain games will be like just fine. Indie games and small games and old games will run just fine on like a Surface or even maybe a phone. But here's the other angle to this whole platform agnosticism. What's going to happen with the other platforms besides the Microsoft platform, like the ones who don't own an operating system or whatever? Like let's talk about like Steam. That now they've got it working on Linux and Windows, but they're never going to allow someone to install Steam on their Xbox, right? That's just not going to be. That's not going to happen. Never. Why would they do that?
Gabe Newell has said like, yeah, we're all for it, but that's kind of really all he went into it. Like I think he's just more like we're all into the concept of cross-platformism, but not.
But would Microsoft let them have a game on let's say what's a good first-party game like Team Fortress 2 or Dota 2 or something? Will they allow them to have that on their system, and will they allow them to cross-play with people on Steam?
Yeah, will that be okay?
Will they
with
allow
you?
that?
Mr. Gates, is that okay?
Well, Mr. Gates is not even involved anymore. It's salty Nutella.
Oh,
salty Nutella.
Salty Nutella.
Yeah, salty Nutella.
That actually sounds kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, salty Nutella. What do you think? can we do this? Can we be cool, or is it going to be locked down? I mean, you're seeing this with everybody out there. Apple kind of did it first, with like everything's locked to your iTunes account or your whatever account. Everything's locked in here. If you're basically almost feels like you're renting everything from them, and that's kind of what this whole platform agnosticism really feels like to me, is that ownership is kind of going away. The whole idea of you own this now, to like, no, you have these things, but they live here. Yeah. And a lot of if you read a lot of the EULAs, they say, like, hey, this store may explode one day, in which case all your stuff goes away, or you have this as long as your account is active. There's some things like clauses like this. You guys got to be careful. So I want to know from the community as to what you guys think the future may be like in regards to this, because it could go in a lot of different directions.
I mean, generally, like what from the fans themselves, they are all for it, because a lot of the outcry from fans and stuff is like, I am tired of always having to buy the same console as everybody else to be sure that I can play games with my friends.
Right. Well, the only reason you ever buy a console is for the exclusives. I mean, think about it. Like, why does anyone buy one console over the other? It's for the exclusives. Why does someone buy a console instead of a PC? Well, they really want to play Zelda, or they really want to play, Halo or Fable or whatever it is. And they really want those exclusive titles. Those are key. And now that Gears was a big exclusive, now moving that over, they're going to try to get people to join their platform. So now the exclusive is pushing them to a platform instead. So not really that big of a paradigm shift, but a platform shift. A platform paradigm.
I would love to hear from people in the comment section to see what they think about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough information right now to put together a full-on piece, unless we started like going to Microsoft and like knocking on their door and stuff, which is not that far away. We could do that and be like, what are your plans for this? I'm okay with that. All right, thanks to our supporters. If you guys are not supporting, you should. If you want some awesome content. was that a good? Just there's shirts over there in the store too. Just grab those and stuff.
We'd appreciate your support if you'd like to get it to us. No pressure.
That's enough. See you guys in the comments later.
Ugh.